Hello and welcome to another episode of Endotube. This week we're going to be looking at the histology of the endocrine system. We'll firstly start with the pituitary gland. It is a structure found at the base of the brain. The posterior pituitary gland, otherwise known as a neurohypophysis, originates from nervous tissue in the brain. It looks very different from the anterior, as you can see the nerve fibers, and it contains neurosecretory cells. It secretes two hormones, ADH, which acts on the kidneys to regulate water excretion, and oxytocin, which causes smooth muscles in the uterus to contract during labour. The anterior pituitary gland, otherwise known as the adenohypophysis, originates from oral ectoderm of the primitive cavity called Rath's pouch. The cells secrete hormones in response to signals from the hypothalamus. It contains three types of cells: acidophils, basophils, and chromophobes. In between, we have a narrow region called the pars intermedia. We will take a closer look at the cells in the anterior pituitary gland. Acidophils have pink cytoplasm and dark nuclei and are made up of two cells that secrete the growth hormone somatotropin and the hormone prolactin. Basophils appear as darker cells with purple cytoplasm and are made up of three types of cells which secrete glycoprotein hormones: ACTH, TSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. The next structure we're going to be looking at is the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland contains thyroid follicles that store colloid, which is an inactive precursor of thyroid hormones. Follicles are cavities surrounded by follicular cells, and they secrete the thyroid hormone and have cuboidal epithelium. Next is the parathyroid gland. These are four pea-sized structures that are found within the thyroid. It is found in the capsule of the thyroid gland, and you can clearly see thyroid gland follicles surround the structure. It contains two types of cells, chief cells and oxyphil cells. The chief cells are small and pale, and oxyphil cells are lighter stained and larger, seen here. Next we have the adrenal glands. They have two main parts, the cortex and the medulla. The adrenal cortex consists of cords arranged more or less perpendicular to the organ's thin connective tissue capsules, seen in blue. The adrenal cortex has three regions: zona glomerulosa in red. The cells tend to form rounded knots and secrete mineralocorticoids such as aldosterone, which regulates salt balance. The next region is zona fasciculata. These cells tend to be arranged to form straight parallel bundles. They secrete glucocorticoids such as cortisol, which regulates sugar balance, and the cells can be seen that they're a little bit paler than the rest of the other cells. The final region of the cortex is the zona reticularis. These cells tend to form an interconnected network and they secrete androgenic steroids. The classic mnemonic for zonal functions is salt, sugar, and sex. Here we have the adrenal medulla. The cells here are organized in clusters and cords and are described as chromaffin cells. They are columnar in shape and rather basophilic. Medullary chromaffin cells secrete catecholamines such as epinephrine and norepinephrine. Depicted here again is the adrenal cortex and the capsule. Lastly, we have the pancreas. It has two portions: the exocrine, which secretes digestive enzymes into the blood, specifically into the duodenum, and acinine, which is largely packed together as circled here, and you can also see interlobular ducts. But we're more focused on the endocrine portion, which consists of three types of cells: alpha, which releases glucagon; beta, which secretes insulin; and delta, which secretes somatostatin. This area is slightly lighter stained and is referred to as the islets of Langerhans. These are the references used in today's video. And once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.